I'm super duper excited for our amazing guest, which is going to come today. Now, let me talk something about this particular guest because he is just amazing. He does. He's a career coach, parenting coach with 6+ years of experience in corporate education industry. Not only that, he's a professional who are helping artists as educational apps like Seekho and MiceKart. He has been awarded Best Career Coach and Best Parent Coach by ABCD International and NIST India in 2021. He has been conducting training on topics like goal setting, personality and character development, anger management, public speaking, grooming, body language, stress management, effective parenting, time management, self-motivation, disciplined parenting, lots more. He has also conducted training sessions and workshops and lectures on various skills topics at prominent corporate and educational institutes. And also he has delivered a speech to name of Bank of India, Ashok Leyland, Nadar, Nirma University, Ahmedabad, MIT, World Peace University, Faculty of Law, Pune, Institute of Computer Technology, Blue Star Limited, Nagpur, DNIT College of Engineering, Nagpur, Johnson Lives, Nagpur. And also, he had translated the speech of Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi in English for All India Radio station. Mr. Modi delivered during his first visit to Nagpur and Noida, and also during his visit in 2017. So please help me welcome one and only one, Aniruddha Pathak. Welcome to the Ravi Nadar show, Aniruddha.
Hi, Ravi. Good evening. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on your prestigious platform. It truly means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming here, Aniruddha. So give us a short introduction of your journey from who you were to who you are now as a successful parenting and career coach.
Okay. To begin with, my career journey started at the age of 22. I started with corporates and I was into industry for 10 years. So I have worked with corporate engineers, and I started from the front end. That was my profile. From there, I started working. And when I moved out of corporate, I was heading Maharashtra and Goa as a training head for the state. And that is something which I did doing in corporate. And being into corporate 10 years, I realized that it's something which is not my natural calling. I want to do something on my own. So that's how I realized that okay, I should go and try onto my own interest, which is training, mentoring, and coaching. So that's the reason I started working on it since 2013, almost 8 years after this. Since getting into teaching, it was not easy again because by being into the corporate, I was interviewing students quite frequently. That was my profile. So it was a huge between the expectations and the expectations of the industry from the students. So to bridge the gap, I was quite frustrated. And one day I came home and I told my father that people are not happy with all this things. So one day he said that why you always keep on saying that somebody do something? Why can't you do it? And why take responsibility? That is something which from time to time I can also take responsibility. That's when I took that responsibility on my shoulder after giving a detailed and a brief thought of almost 6 months. I decided to move out, and that's how I started on my coaching journey. So initial years of my coaching, almost 4.5 years, I was specifically working with students. And in 2016, after being a father, I realized that parenting is not easy, right? Parenthood is easy because that comes naturally, but parenting is something that we need to learn. Right? Because in our what happens is we don't even know that how to hold a baby when it is very small. Right? So how it should be placed in your arms, where his or it should be. So we have to learn all these things. Even to change a diaper, we have to learn all those things, right? So when I struggled with that particular it's not an easy thing, and to be more critical and crucial in this time. So that's the reason I shifted and I started working on it as a hospital. So that's with pressure than I am, currently doing anything. So that's more of like what I'm doing currently.
Great, just to share that. And what you said, like when your father said that, and you were having a conversation with your father that somebody needs to do this and that, and when he said that, why somebody, why can't you? What was the moment at that particular time, like when you heard that particular thing, when he was said to you that particular thing?
It was more of like, one day I came back to, a day at office, and I interviewed around 10 to 15 students, right? And that time they were having that kind of an expectation. I'm XYZ degree or XYZ qualification. I go automatically into that particular, I'll be having a cabin, I'll be having they will be calling me boss, all that stuff. So I don't have to get on this kind of stuff. I think it was their expectation. And in reality, in corporate was not expecting that. At least, in that industry, it was not expecting that. Right? So that is something which we were looking out for, like people who are more interested. That was our all that all that when I came back home, I had a this meeting and their mind from there all I had. I had that this kind of interaction quite a couple of times, and after listening to me for 3 or 4 times, then he came up with the idea that I was saying something. Why I just we have that kind of an open interaction with each other, wherein if I'm having any kind of feeling, that is also a very big portion, when parenting comes to the picture, right? Because to have that kind of an open interaction is also very much required. It's not only about what to give through your words, but also through your actions to be aligned to that direction. So that is something which happened.
I a lot of different. So what are the challenges Indian parents face while raising their children these days?
Okay, this is not coming into any kind of a specific order. The first challenge parents face today is the competition which is there outside, right? Generally, we get to listen to this kind of conversation pretty often around in the neighborhood. That's a clear pressure which is there in front of Indian parents today. In our world today, right? And for which many times we as parents are not ready to take that challenge. So we many times we put our limiting beliefs into there, which man is thinking, if I can do it, I'm saying that every parent is of the same thought, but most of the parents which are coming to have that interaction, definitely is not a very difficult issue. So as one basic challenge parents have to, and then is the of years as the influence of we are very well informed and same time we are ill informed also, right? Many times I always feel while dealing with wedding cases, I always feel it's very that we are become educated, but young little, but education has taken back. That's why I feel students are using the social media, or even their parents are using social media nowadays. We are not using it responsibly. It is more of like an entertainment model for everybody, but we are not using it for our own, or we are not thinking on those lines. So these are, I think that, as I said, it is not in any particular order, but these I think are the major challenges in this crisis. life.
Yes. And also, Aniruddha, like, help us understand that when you start comparing your kids with others, do you think that is something which is right to compare? Because some parents think that if we compare it with our neighbor kids, like maybe the Sharmaji ka ladki, like, or Vermaji, or maybe Patel, or anyone, okay, whoever your neighbor is, when we compare them, that they will see, look up to, and then they start getting good marks, or maybe they start performing better. Is that something which is going on to the parents? Or if not, then how is that actually affecting the kids?
To be honest, the only thing which I can see in this scenario which is happening today is yes, comparison is happening. Right? So let's first accept the fact that yes, comparison is happening. Now, second, which is very much important for everybody of anybody who is listening to this live or in recorded version also, it's very much important for us to understand that comparison is inevitable. You cannot avoid comparison. The problem today what we have is we are using comparison to demotivate kids. The comparison is not being used to motivate in any way. Now, when these kind of situations come in front of, always ensure to quality, as we always compare the results, but we never compare the efforts. And that is something which puts an undue pressure or a kind of guilt in to the kids or to the students. At times when that happens to the parents. What is the example that I discussed in the previous question also, that Sharmaji ka beta is doing this, when it happens like that, we don't look at the efforts which are going behind to come out of that particular thought process. We don't look at that. Even on television also, on all the advertisements which are coming across, we can definitely see that all the advertisements which are there, they are always giving the negative comparison coming out, right? मेरी साड़ी तुम्हारी साड़ी मेरी साड़ी से सफेद कैसे? Which is used, right? So it is a comparison which is happening, but unfortunately, it is not showing the results. It is unfortunately showing the results. It is not showing the efforts which are going behind it. So people are not comparing the efforts. He has done something, as in you something, but what effort he has done to be there where he is today. Right? Today, for an example, you and me are having this interaction. I can know he is having a show also, right? I'm not having it. Right? But I don't know how many sleepless nights Ravi has put across the thought that okay, this is something which I'm going to have as my show. We are not putting that thought also in our kids' mind. I only thought yes, okay, this result you have to look like this. Right? But if we start comparing the efforts behind it, I'm 100% sure 90% of parents will comparing kids based on the efforts, based on the and it's not. I think comparison is required, it's mandatory, it's, as I said, it's inevitable. You cannot avoid it. But the only thing is, if it can be used to motivate your kids, please do that. But when I say motivate, it has to be quite mindful, right? Sometimes in the assumption of motivation, we do a negative kind of comment on our kids. So that's the which we need to be mindful and be about that as well.
Yes, great. And that was a nice analogy you shared, that each and every Indian parents should start understanding this. What you guys are saying to the kid that he or she is getting good marks, instead of that, showing them and making them guilt, show them the kind of effort he or she has taken. So what it will take for you also to take that kind of an effort? Is there a challenge, or is there anything which, as a parents, we can help you?
Absolutely.
We both together, as a kid and as a parent, can solve this particular issue together, instead of just comparing them that he's not a good person and you also need to get a good percentage. What is happening and all. So that is a very great thing. Thanks for sharing that, Aniruddha. I hope many of the parents would have got in the first, I would say 40 minutes itself, they would be there's some great advice, especially from the coaching expert Aniruddha. Okay. The other thing, as a parent, what would you suggest for Indian parents that should they be more strict towards their child? they be and be like a friend? What do you think?
A very detailed question, and I try to take the opportunity to give a different perspective over them. Right? Unfortunately, we only get sick to two different things. Like either I get restricted or I get a friend to my kid. Right? But unfortunately, what happens is when we get a friend to our kids, we knowingly are pressures of our kids' mind, which they are not ready to accept. Now, when I say I'm not ready to accept, it's simply because maybe they are not mature enough to understand what you are going through. But just because I am friend to a kid, I start sharing my office issues with him, or I start sharing my problems with them. I'm not saying that you should not be friends, but I would definitely like to say that you should be a friendly parent rather than being a friend to your kid. Right? And there is a huge difference, and it's a very thin line difference. When I say huge difference in terms of the impact, it is very huge. But if you see it, in terms of what causes it, it's probably a very thin line difference, right? So to become a friendly parent, it's good enough, understanding their issues, sharing your issues. But in terms of like just giving them the perspective of your life is good. But what happens is, by giving it to them, unfortunately, knowingly, unknowingly, deliberately, or I don't know what happens in that particular scenario, but we share certain things which our kids are not mentally prepared for it. Right? You may have differences in your office today with your friends and colleagues. We share the differences, but we don't share the process that how we resolve those differences. Right? So those stories are very important for our kids, but unfortunately those stories doesn't reach to our kids, and that is where the challenge actually starts. That's what I feel. Right? And I'm not saying that, again, I'm repeating this, not every parent is like that. So the only thing is not only and when it comes to being strict, I would say that instead of being strict, if we can be firm with our decisions or with our our thoughts. Sometimes you have to draw a very clear demarcation has to be there, that okay, if this is something which is a ground rule of our family, right? There has to be a clear demarcation for that, right? There you don't have to be strict, you just have to be firm with your thought process. That's it, right? When you are giving any kind of a value to your kid, you have to be firm with giving them the values, right? I don't want my kid to have any kind of an addiction, but when I say that, the first thing that I need to be careful in myself, I should not have any kind of an addiction for myself then. Right? I don't want my kid to smoke, but if I am just saying it just because I want to give him any kind of a value, and I smoke whenever I get a chance, then that's a problem. Then even if at all you try to be strict, it will not generate any kind of result if you want to. Rather, you will lose your value in the eyes of your kid, because he will immediately point it out. Okay, your kathni and karni is absolutely different. What you are saying and what you are doing is absolutely different, right? So that is where the differences happen, and that is where the complete shift happens when the kids start disobeying the parents. So it's not about being strict or about being friends to the kids. It's about being friendly parent. That is what is required, because kids need somebody to have a word to. They need somebody to talk to, and if we are not there, then somebody else is out there sitting, waiting for that opportunity. And I'm sure that we don't want that person to get that opportunity to have a word with our kid, instead of our kid coming to us and having that word with us.
Yes. And I totally agree with this, because the kind of things which you are sharing, like it is completely making a lot of sense. And you said that, especially like one habit, like if you don't want your kids not to smoke, so that means you also need to make sure that you're not doing that particular thing. It's not that you are just giving an order that you should not do and you're sitting there and smoking. Similarly, now people might be thinking, hey, like like Aniruddha or maybe Ravi have just given an example of smoking and drinking. We are not doing that, but there is something which is more addicted to you are doing, which is what, like always 24/7 you are engaged in your mobile phone watching Netflix and everything. And
Absolutely.
when it comes, like your kid is asking you as you mobile for what, playing some games or watching some kind of video, what do you tell? it's not good, it's you should not do that. But at the same time, like, you are doing the same thing and you're asking your kid not to do that, so there is a contradictory. And you said it well, that you're saying something and you're not doing, then that is when the kid might get confused, right? Should I do it or should I not do that? So in
Absolutely.
this case, till now, parents who were doing like this, what would you suggest to that parents, how they can start doing it slowly, or what are the ways they can do things more clearly, I would say?
Uh, to answer this query, I would definitely like to mention here one particular thing which is quite, works 99% of the times, and it definitely works everywhere, right? Across the globe. I'm not saying only with reference to our country, but across the globe. Kids follow your example. They don't follow your words. Trust me on this. They never follow your words. They'll never say, no, if you tell them that, okay, no, kid, this is something which you need to do, and they have done it, it never happens. If you do it in front of them, they'll automatically do it without you telling it to them. And that is something which happens automatically. You tell your kid 100 times that, okay, this is something which you are not supposed to do, not supposed to do, not supposed to do. He'll just, okay, haan, theek hai, bol do. He'll have that kind of an approach. Because he's following your actions, he's not following your words. They are not in that zone to follow your word, no, to your words. Why? Because words need comprehension, right? Action just needs, a simple understanding. Okay, this is something to be done. This is something not done. That's it. It's very clear and very simple to and easy to understand. Words has hundreds of meanings to it, right? Action is, it's like, why we say that non-verbal communication or body language has very high importance in our communication, overall communication. Why body language is more important and words doesn't have, is because we are showing our kids that this is something is to be, by action we are telling that this is something is to be done, and by words we are telling that this is something is not to be done. What do you think will they follow? They'll definitely go by what is more connecting to them. Your body language is of course there, right? So speak by your body language, you speak by your non-verbal communication more, rather than, that's why when it comes to situations like this, be a role model to your kid, right? Many parents, they come to me and they tell me that okay, I never had anybody to guide me in my life, so that's the reason I don't know how to do it, right? So that's the moment I tell them that it's very good that you never had something. You have taken that responsibility, or you have that opportunity to take that responsibility, be a role model to your kid, because you never had one. Right? So if you want to become that role model, or if you want to showcase that to your kid, which you never had, please showcase it to your kid. Agar mujhe meri zindagi mein, if I have got something like this in my life ever before, my life would have been 100% different. If that is something which you are looking out for, showcase it to your kid, and your kid will definitely follow your actions. They never follow your words. Trust me on this.
Yes, absolutely. And how can a parent deal with this situation occurs with their children, especially wherein his or her parents' dream is to become something? Let's suppose, take an example, to become an engineer, or maybe a doctor, or maybe lawyer, or anything. But now, due to some or the other reason, they were not able to become that person. Instead of that, they have become some other person, or maybe for a mother, like they have become a housewife, or not able to continue or pursue any career. But now what they're doing is, they are telling their children that you should be able to become that engineer student or doctor, or like maybe any other related thing, which that was their parents' dream, not his or children's dream. So what would you suggest, like how this kid will succeed, and what would you suggest to these kind of parenting? Like, how is that important? Are they on the right track, or are they taking the kids to a different off track, which is like never their own track? It was they are driving on someone else's track.
It's a very crucial thing which is happening everywhere, and thank you for asking that question as well, right? The point which I would like to bring here is, the best thing in this country's history and future, or in present also, is that we are the youngest country of the world, right? It's a known fact that we are the youngest country of the world, but at the same time, unfortunately, we are the most depressed country of the world also. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying these are the researches which are available on Google. Anybody can go ahead and do that research on their own, right? But why I'm saying that is the kind of depression which our kids are going through today. Most of the depression cases are because of not having the kind of work that they want to do. Number one. Number two, they are not being able to deal with the rejections that are happening in their life. So they don't know how to deal with the rejections also, right? They are not ready to accept the failure in their life. So that is also one of the major reasons of getting into depression, right? So these are just three top reasons which are there across. And again, not in any particular order, but these are the major topic reasons through which the depression is happening across. Now, out of these three, the first important is people are not doing something which they wanted to do in their life. It's a very big question mark on us as an individual. Why? Because we know that the path that we want our kids to follow, we are not sure whether they will be happy into it or not. But we think that it will give them a kind of a satisfaction for their work. Why? Because again, Sharma ji ka beta has already done it. Verma ji ki beti has already done it. Right? Somebody somewhere in the world, in the country has done that. That's the reason we love them to follow the treaded path already. Right? And we don't take an informed decision when it comes to their career. What happens is there is a very big difference in course and career. People confuse with a particular course with their career, and that is something which happens all across. We treat one particular course as a career of anybody's life, right? Career is something which goes for 40 years. Course is something which ends by 4 years,
right?
And what is happening is we are judging our career based on the 4 years. If you're good, no, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but the point is we are not even taking that pain to know whether my kid is good enough to get into that or not. We are ready to invest 4 lakh, 40 lakh rupees in a particular course, but we are not ready to pay 4,000 rupees to a career counselor just to know where my kid stands.
Very true. Very true.
What an irony today this is. Like, I am ready to take, I am ready to sell myself, right? Or literally put myself into a situation wherein, I'll mortgage myself and I take a loan just to pay for my kid's education, wherein I am not sure whether he is interested into it or not. I have been closely associated with a couple of educational institutions across the country. And when I say that, I have seen students who are getting into one particular graduation, right? And they have left their graduation just because they were not interested. And they have spent, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs a year. That's not a small amount, right? People can get settled with 3 lakhs and 4 lakhs if they have that kind of a money to spare, right? That is happening today. And when we interact with the parents of these kind of kids, they are like, sir, let's see, and many times why they don't go to career counselor. Also, there is one more very interesting fact which I would like to share. People generally don't go to career counselor because they have a fear not of that their kid will be given any kind of jadi booty kind of thing. Like, if my kid is being given a which we have never thought of, what and how he is going to be successful. And anybody we like it or we don't like it, when we talk about success, we always talk about financial success. We don't talk about success of happiness. I always have this example whenever I for any of the career this station across. Always share example of Farhan Kureshi from 3 years. मैं अगर इंजीनियर बन गया तो बहुत खराब इंजीनियर दूंगा. क्या होगा? Dialogue is not only a dialogue, it's an actual internal communication. If it is happening just because we are having a fear that I could make it an option which I am not prepared for, that I don't want to go to career counselor. I have seen, I do career counselor. I have one company. I would name that individual, but he came to me, whatever he said that okay, this is your fees. willing to get it. Just if it's you, I use the kid. It's for the kid as well. I oppose the parent. I teach them. I saw the kid, but particular kid, that is which highlighted that thought. This is not only one odd case. There are hundreds of people out there who are thought. If me, if I would give my lesson back. Many parents don't even go to a career counselor just because I don't want it to fall into that fear or trap. That is something which is there, unfortunately. Right? So I would anybody who is listening to this show right now, I would definitely like to say that is made here. So of course that we are talking about the life of a kid. Right? Take an informed decision. It's okay, right? It's absolutely up to you. We never say that it's a taboo that if this is something which is none of the career counselors do that. None of the career counselors do that. But the only thing take an informed decision, go to a career counselor, go through that particular process, see what are the plus points, what are the good things, what are the strengths and weaknesses of your kid. Accordingly choose so that he can be young people are ultimately what we are going to have in future. Right? We are going to be the oldest country also. Right? So old as well as the best one. Right? We won't even survive the old age, I'm sure about it.
That's correct. And also, does this also affect people not to, that they have not taken the right decision for their kids? So, for example, they are doing this engineering or because something which was forced them to be there. There's also them who's like having pressure, which come like that pressure, and they're not able to handle that pressure, and that leads to some cases. This
absolutely. It's very contributes a lot towards the suicide cases which are happening, and we are talking about it, right? But it's required. Everybody needs to talk about it. Yes, it is a very big reason that we are not allowing our kids to fail. Why we are not accepting failure in their life? The moment that standing at the advantages and thinking about it, okay, this is the advantage, like how I going to fix it. And it's all about standing and fighting on for in those tough situations. In your life, in your school days, you may be a good parent. You are supporting him everywhere. School is very good to nurture the kid in any possible way. But that is not let him at least face that they are just getting rejected somewhere. Let them go through that particular process. Why not? Because that's how watching a problem, you get it. Not B, will give you B plus. Doesn't happen that way. Life doesn't that way. You failed in your life. I have failed. We are in love failures. Everybody is.
Yes.
Everybody is living some failures only. The problem is we are so connected with the success story of people. We fail to identify that people become successful, right? They fail and they succeed once, and then it becomes a story. But when we don't allow our kids to create success stories anymore, they are just creating survival stories. And survival stories doesn't.
That's correct. And this is the actual thing, like 80% people are in the survival stage. When people, as parents, they don't want their kids to fail anymore. And it is, like you said it rightly, it's okay to fail. Unless and until you don't fail, you're not going to get out. And you to come up and start doing screens and not get in the game. And this is what even if the he wants to do something and he or she wants to go front, the parent says no, do not do that because you will fail. What is going to happen like even when you fail? It is okay to fail. So just all the parents who are listening to understand this. It is okay to fail. Let them fail. Let them feel the rejection. And that is the true source, secret source of successes. There is nothing which is called as a overnight success, as I did to share just now. People fail hundreds of times. I failed hundreds of times. We are having a nice, wonderful conversation and very, very, very important. It is like we have multiple tries. And I'm strong. So great. The huge shift is happening in industry. Everyone is looking for engineering, or doctor, a lawyer, or a CA chartered accountant, or a banker, those kind of thing. How about today's kids and young kids? They want to do something else. Maybe they want to become a designer, freelancer, or maybe a YouTuber, or maybe something else. But not only have more interest toward that, maybe a singer, maybe a dancer. What would you suggest to those parents? Actually, which has a pros and cons definitely, but as a platform, how they can utilize it for to showcase their passion. What would you say about that?
It is a two-edged sword. When we say social media, it is a two-edged sword because it is close and it is be visible across the globe. You don't have to showcase your talent to 100 people at a time. You just show a simple so visibility has become very easy. Forgotten that what social media can also do to our doorstep, right? There are literally, it's very sensitive topic. That's why I advise, the viewers discretion, right? But to be very honest with you, there are vultures sitting outside to pounce on our kids, right? Also mentioned it very clearly. But if we are not, if we are not being responsible in using our social media or not, if not being social media, that is happening all across. Why do what for? The kids are consuming as a content. When it comes to consuming the content, we have to be extra vigilant and extra mindful that whatever is going to make it, it is going to add some kind of value to them, right? Because of social media or because of the mobile phones which are there in our hand, the whole is accessible at the fingertip. We just have to type it and we can get hundreds of options available. We don't know whether it is right or wrong, but the information is there. And that happens average kids generally ask around 300 to 400 questions in a day. In a single day, they ask around 300 to 400 questions. To avoid those questions, what we do is and you have the answer. The information is readily available there, right? How many you and me, the kids can also access that. When we know that once we can show at a particular age, but still it is having the availability. But just because we are not being mindful about it, we are opening the doors at a very early age. Kids are so much aware of so many things. We were not aware of very over. Right? And that is an alarming situation today. So when everybody wants to get into these kind of, when I say that these are all, these are all visibility, you can interact with hundreds of people. Inspiring stories are there on all social media platforms. So we have to social media and social media. Value content out, right? There is one Tanzanian actor, I don't remember his name, right? He lip syncs on Bollywood songs, right? For us, doing lip sync on a Bollywood song is absolutely normal, but for him, doing it, it's a valuable content because it's not his language. He doesn't know how to pronounce it. He doesn't know what that words mean, but still he does the lip sync so beautifully along with his sister. He's a celebrity today, right? Yes. So we need to understand that what content we are going to put out, right? And so social media is, of course, it is, as I'm repeating this, it's a two-edged sword. We need to be very careful that which side we have to be on so that we get less cut, right? So it's not only because ultimately we are going to get hurt because of it. And it happens with all the careers. It's not only about with this one particular career. It is visible because it's very much there right in front of us. Every single thing, right? Today, Ravi Nadar sneezed in his show. It will be a news tomorrow, right? I'm just sharing it as an example.
Yeah, just one search. Like if you just go Google search who Ravi Nadar is, I'm going to pop in front of you, and that is true, right?
Absolutely, right? So we have to understand that how we are going to use it. We have to know, and we have to put in extra efforts when we want these kind of profiles or these kind of options being available to our kids. We have to put in extra efforts also, right? We don't want our kids to take again any kind of a random thought. Okay, I have seen people doing YouTube videos, so I want to be a YouTuber tomorrow. Is it your passion? Is it something? What value addition you are going to do? There are people who are travel bloggers also, right? Vlogs are being created nowadays, right? Travel logs are created nowadays. If you are genuinely interested in travel, please go ahead and do that. No problem. Students who are into foodies, who love to eat food, they are having their own channels. Interested about any particular language, they are having their own channels. Value add they are doing. That is something which is very much important.
That's great. And also I have seen a lot of things wherein, especially like one of the kids I was watching, like he's a great dancer and he's a television superstar as well. So he has his own social media account as well, but his father is handling. So they are adding value to that particular content, but at the same time, father is joined hands with him that if you don't know about the social media, I'm going to take care, and where it's needed, I'm going to add the content. That is the smart move, I would say. Instead of giving him directly 24/7, he is on the social media. So that is the way. And second, also I have seen like there are a lot of apps and websites which are available with an extra charge, like especially maybe 500 or maybe 1,000 rupees for a year. That's it, which actually helps parents to block a lot of different sites which is not usable and not as good for at the appropriate that particular age. They can use that particular thing, and instead of that, that will actually give them some rich content, and also they will not be able to access any kind of a content which is not appropriate. So that also can be done. But again, the mentality comes into the picture at 500 rupees. That 1,000 rupees I have to pay to that particular company. But what they are not understanding is that 500 or 1,000 can save that particular kid's career or maybe sometime life as well.
May create an opportunity also. Those 500 definitely can create an opportunity for the kids so that they can learn something new, they can explore the possibilities also. So possibilities are endless, right? When it comes to career and all, possibilities are endless today because of all the social media and all. There are hundreds of options which are absolutely available, which actually doesn't require a qualification or a specific degree also,
Yes,
right? You just need to be good with certain things and you can, it's just boom.
that's correct. And also, like Aniruddha, if I have to ask, like, how can maybe okay, if a kid, okay, who is spending a completely lot of time watching Netflix, or maybe gaming, or maybe PUBG, or whatever game he is playing, does this actually impacting his focus, his concentration level, and his, like, brain and memory power? What would you like to say about it? Like, continuously binge watching, like any particular thing, or maybe playing continuously on maybe computer, or maybe especially on the mobile.
It definitely impacts the overall development of the kid. 100% it impacts, not only with reference to the cognitive abilities, but it also impacts the patience level also, right? If
Mm,
there was a study done by Massachusetts University, if I'm not wrong, and the study says that they have done that study on almost 5,000 students
mm,
from the age group of 5 to 15, that age group. And that age group which was observed for almost more than 6 months, and those 6 months they have that the kids who have been using mobile on a very regular basis, right, they were very short tempered. And not
mm.
only with reference to mobile phones, it is with reference to any kind of screen, right? So the kids who are less than 10 years of age should have a restricted screen time of 2 hours, including all the screens, be it mobile phone, be it laptop, be it their TV or anything, whatever they are looking at, 2 hours in a day. Now, what is happening is today, I have seen these kind of examples happening. Kids don't have their TV, don't have the mobile phone in their hand,
Mm.
right? If we stand firmly on our ground that without TV, the food will be served. With TV, food will not be served. We have to be for us time, right?
Yes.
It is and another moment. They will throw it for at least 3 4 days or week. Be firm and let that pass. If can be firm on that particular point, kids will definitely okay. This is something which happen. My mom is not going to happen. Or this is something which I want. Allowing me to do three times zero, then definitely I have to say they'll accept it. But those days are literally challenging for us. We have to be very much careful. We have to be vigilant about it. And when it comes to addiction or these kind of things, we are not giving any kind of an alternative to our kids.
Mm.
Development, it is very rightly said that every night the kids should read at least one story. And when I say read, it has to happen with the parents. Either of the parents also will do. I'm not saying the parents should do it mandatory. One can it will be a family gathering, right? But at least one parent has to read one story with the kid. And why reading is very much important is because reading us to create more imagination. Right? If I'm watching something which is ready-made there in front of my screen, I'm not using my imagination. I'm seeing somebody else's imagination in front of me. But when I read a particular book, just for an example, I'm giving it as an example. There is a book which is giving an explanation of a picturesque view, right? A road is going through two mountains in between. There are beautiful trees on the both sides, and there is a small river which is also passing by. When we start reading this, in our mind we start creating a picture of how it will look,
Mm.
right? But if we are not reading it and if we are seeing it, we are not using our imagination that how it is happening.
Mm.
We'll see that directly a ready-made picture in front of us that okay, these are the kind of trees which are going to be there. We don't know what kind of a tree that kid is going to imagine in his mind, and that could be a complete different creation altogether. But just because we are not reading, we are not allowing the imagination to happen. And Einstein definitely says that the ultimate measure of your brilliance is not what you can do, it's all about what you can imagine.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful.
Right? So reading is, we have to create alternative mediums to TV, to mobile, or to laptop. Right? If we have created that kind of avenue or the opportunities for our kids, they don't get into that kind of activities also, right? And it's practically being done by every across the globe. This I am not saying that I have done this. It is being done by everybody, and it has generated results for people, right? Create an alternative to mobile phone. Kids will stick to the alternative if it is done with complete involvement, right? And when I say create an alternative, I don't mean that okay, create an alternative for your kid, that okay, this is for you, do it on your own from tomorrow. It doesn't work that. You have to be a part of that, that process. If you become part of it, then it stays with them as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great. And also, thanks for sharing that, Anirudh. That was something which is very, very, very important, because that is how you can increase the imagination level from the childhood itself to one kids. Great. Now, what would you like to say to the parents who don't know, like, what is the actual real potential of that particular kids, or maybe not potential? Let's talk about, like, what is my kid who is passionate about. What do you think, as a parenting expert, what do you think is the right age where we can see our kids or children, that what is that something really that my kid or child is passionate about, and how can they unleash their true potential?
Okay, when it comes to passion, there is no right age to it, because it keeps on developing. The more we keep on exploring ourselves, it keeps on coming to us, right? That is generally which happens. But if you want to get into knowing your options for getting into a different kind of a career or anything of that sort, right? Generally, which people call it as a career counseling and all. The ideal age, I would not say the right age, but the ideal age would be anywhere after 8th, right? 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th are the 4 years when ideally it should be done, right? Even after 12th, people can get this done. That's absolutely okay. But the only thing is, right, invest in that particular process. Why? It's not only about identifying the career options for us. It also gives us an opportunity to understand that what I am as an individual, what my personality is all about, right? There are hundreds of tests available on Google. Anybody can Google it and check it, right? Which helps you to understand what your personality type is, right? Just to know what our personality is and what kind of a person I am, we don't have to go to anybody. We can do it by sitting at the comfort of our home. Just because we don't want to do it, we are not doing it, right? And if we are not aware how to decode the report, and we don't know how to read about it, and we don't know how to interpret that report, go to an expert. It's fine. I'm absolutely 100%. Many times parents come to me and they say that the fees are very high, so we don't want to invest into it. I never buy that excuse of theirs. You have amount to spend on a family dinner.
Yes.
Right? Every month, every week, there are families which I know that every week there is a family dinner, and family is like 15-20 people. Right? So I'm sure that the bill doesn't come anywhere less than 5,000, right? Unless they go to a dhaba, right? So if you have amount to spend on a family dinner, right, then you can definitely arrange that kind of an amount to know the future of your kid. Why not? And it's just an investment and it's an investment. I'm not saying that you're wasting an amount. Right, you're investing. Why? Because it will generate returns on investment also, because you know what your personality is, you know what your kid's personality is, you know what your wife's personality is also. How many parents do their personality assessment before becoming a parent? They don't do it. Why? Because they don't know what my parenting style is going to be, what my personality type is going to be. They don't know. So that's they don't even. And in the beginning of our interaction, at one point I also mentioned that parenthood is very easy because that happens naturally, right? But parenthood doesn't happen when the kid is born. It happens when you think that you want to become a parent. Parenthood starts from there. You have to accept mentally that tomorrow, when the kid is going to be there, my whole priority and my whole life is going to get changed. You have to accept that mentally first, that okay, this is going to happen tomorrow. You have to accept the fact that your wife is going through, she'll be definitely be going through, multiple ups and downs, emotional ups and downs. Mood swings will be there. She'll cry for no reason. But if being the father or the would-be father, if I don't know that this is something which is because of the process that she is going through, I may not be able to handle it with care. And if I don't do that, That
Very
warmth will
true.
never be passed to my kid. If I do that, my kid will be aware of, okay, my papa has done that even before I was born.
Yes.
And that actually happens. People don't believe it कि अरे ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, but ऐसा होता है. And that happens. Science has proved that is happens.
Very, very true, Aniruddha. Great. Thanks for sharing that. Now, do you think also, as a parents, okay, one should teach their children from the early age about the discipline, especially when it comes to about the money? Maybe it doesn't matter, like even that is a 1 rupee, 10 rupee, 100 rupee, or thousand or lakhs of rupees. Do you think that every parents doesn't matter from a lower middle class family, or from any upper class or maybe well-to-do family? Do you think that discipline needs to be taught from at the early age? What would you
Absolutely,
say?
absolutely. It's mandatory. It's 100% required. And in today's time, it's 100% need of the hour that every kid must be aware of the financials. Must be aware of. It's not only about the investment, but it's also about how to generate wealth.
Hmm.
Right? We know the legend who created a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert
Right?
Kiyosaki, yes.
We must know what financial management is from the right early age, very early age. Right? Warren Buffett became the second richest man of the world because he started investing at the age of 10.
Hmm.
Right? At the age of 30 also, there I know multiple people who have not invested a single rupee by the age of 30. Not
Yes.
invested a single, and even if at all they have invested, I was one of them. Right? And
Mhm.
there is no shame in accepting this fact that I was not aware of anything apart from the policies. That
Hmm.
investment can be done into multiple portfolios of, I was absolutely not aware of it. I had a couple of policies in my profile, and I was very happy that I have done some investment of my life.
Mhm.
When I got to have an interaction with one of the financial advisors, right?
Mhm.
There are financial advisors in the market. I realized that how much mistake I have done in my life. I have wasted almost 10-15 years of my whatever earning I had. I literally wasted that amount just by having policies. It could
Hmm.
have been 3 times, 4 times, 7 times at times, and I've lost everything just because I was not aware of it. In those times, of course, there was nothing more reliable source than getting a policy. But today we have multiple options available. Right? A simple SIP of 500 rupees also can be done by a school, by a
Yes.
school going kid. Why? Because they get their pocket money also. Right? And 500 is not a very big thing. You go to a Starbucks and order a coffee, it is more than 250 rupees.
That's correct.
Right? So just 2 coffees and you are done for the month.
Okay.
Every parent should start telling this to the kids. It's mandatory. It's 100%.
Yes, absolutely. And what would you like to give an advice, or like to avoid, especially for the parents, one mistakes which, based on your experience, like if they should definitely avoid while raising their children? What is that one mistake that would be? Definitely, there would be a lot, but what would be the top one mistake you want to
I
share it
I
to the parents, especially that one is like something which is very big. You don't you want to give that advice.
I would not call it as a mistake, but I would definitely call it as just because they are not aware of it, right? So it
Yes,
doesn't
the
happen consciously.
awareness.
It's just because they are not aware of it. We don't allow our kids to be our kids, right? We start seeing somebody else's reflection into it. The
Hmm.
reflection could be my reflection, your reflection, or somebody else's reflection, right?
Very profound.
When we allow them to be them, right? They are the original copy of them, right? We want a second Mahendra Singh Dhoni to be done. We want second Sachin Tendulkar to be done. We want a second Einstein in our homes, right? Why a second of somebody? Why can't they be the first of everything? Right?
Yes.
That's your first kid. That even if it's your second kid, but it's the first time for that kid into your life, right? It could be your 10th kid also. I don't mind. I don't know, right? But that's absolutely your personal choice. But for that kid, it's his first life, and that's the only life that that individual is going to be. Then why to be somebody else's shadow? Why can't they have their own their own personality to and stand in their own sun and have their own shadow somewhere? Why can't they have their own reflection somewhere? Right? Why they have to be a copy of somebody? They should not. Right? Just let them be the way they are. Nurture their uniqueness. That is something which is missing, unfortunately, a big time,
Hmm.
and that is something which I feel that should not happen. and that happens in families. Small brother is compared with the the elder one, or you have to be like your elder brother. You have to be like your see how he is doing, see how that.
Your sister,
Yes,
your
yes,
brother, yes.
that should not be done. Unknowingly we do that, but let's be very conscious. Let's be mindful about it, and let them be the way they are. Right? If we allow that to happen, they will be the best version of themselves. That's the only thing which is required today.
Great perspective, and what you have shared, that was very profound. Like, it's to be like, be yourself, be 100% you, instead of like everyone else, because everyone else has already been taken. That's what it is. Great. Okay. So what would you tell to the parents, how they can start getting these kind of awareness? Like, is there any book you can recommend? And also your upcoming book about this, or anything, like, how can they get towards that? And secondly, how can they reach out to you, especially like, parents who wants a guidance related to the career coaching, maybe related to parenting? How can one connect with you?
I'm there on all the social media platforms. They can connect with me on all the platforms, right? I'm there on LinkedIn. I'm there on Facebook. I have my dedicated group and a dedicated page named as P for Parenting. And by the end of this year, I'll be coming out with the book which is named as P for Parenting only. And I'm into writing that book. Close to around 10,000 words I have written so far, and very soon I'll be getting into that zone of publication and all that stuff also, which is going to start. But that is something which is in progress, right? And there are multiple books which are there available in the market, right? There is one book called as Well Done Parenting, WHALE, Well Done Parenting. It's a very beautiful book, very simple to understand, right? There is one animated movie which is there on Netflix called as Inside Out. That's also a very beautiful animated movie, which is mandatory for all the parents to watch. It shows the emotional ups and downs and the psychological ups and downs of a kid, right? And that's very beautifully narrated and beautifully showcased in that movie. So every parent must definitely watch that also. And books are hundreds of them. I mean, there's no one particular book which I can mention. But yes, the upcoming book which I'm writing, you can definitely go ahead. You can definitely look out for that one.
Definitely. So whoever, as a parent who are watching and who are going to become a parent soon, okay, whoever is watching, maybe you're watching live or maybe you're watching a recording, okay, do not miss out to watch out, like, the upcoming book P for Parenting, okay, where Aniruddha has shared a lot of his secrets, worth of secrets. Even that one particular secrets can save a child, and that is like, his expertise all about. I would recommend all, like, all the parents, like, whoever wants the guidance and the advisors, please reach out to Aniruddha. Okay, he is available. You can connect him in through Linktree. He is available in all social media channel. Okay, great. So Aniruddha, we are end towards our show, and like, it was just an awesome and wonderful, and I was just amazed, like, the kind of a knowledge you shared, especially to our audiences, which is going to help them multifold. And the content which we were talking about, which we were discussing about, like, from last 1 hours, that is a real challenge, a biggest challenge which I can see, especially as an Indian parents, and which you were able to help them, and you help them so that they can breathe out easily, like, they can take a deep breath, like, after knowing this particular thing, and you made it very easy. So thank you so much, Aniruddha, like, for coming to our show and giving us lot of secrets and revealing all these secrets.
Thank you so much, Ravi, for giving me the opportunity and calling me on your show. It was really an amazing interaction that happened, and being onto your show is definitely I feel honored for this, and loved interaction with you. And this is added a value in my life as well, right? So it has given me a different perspective to look at the things which probably when you start giving answers to multiple questions, you start thinking about the questions from a new perspective as well, right? So while giving the answers, I was having different kind of revelation also, which will definitely come in my book as well. So thank you so much for that, and all the best.
Thank you so much for coming the show. Thank you, Aniruddha.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Great. So, what a wonderful, amazing conversation we just had from our guest speaker, Aniruddha Pathak. it was just mind blowing. And the kind of a thing which he has shared, like, he has shared like a lot of easy steps. Okay. So make sure, like, even if you're watching live or maybe the recorded version, do comment below, like, what was your one key takeaways as a parent you are going to start implementing. Okay. And what all things you have learned. Do not like, make sure that you are liking this particular video, and also you're sharing your comments, like what all key takeaways you have got it from this amazing conversation we were having from last 1 hour. Okay. And one more thing, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, and if you have not subscribed to the Ravi Nadar show, so what you can do is you can subscribe it. Okay. And so that you do not miss out the single episode. Okay. Where I bring, like, different guests who are actually impacting millions and who are in the mission to impact millions. Okay. So do not miss out this amazing conversation. So till that time, like, just wait for the another episode. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye. Take care.